The mirrored reflection in the cracked phone screen stared back at me. Pale and drawn, fear etched into every line. My ragged breathing sounded like the rasp of sandpaper against wood in the dead silence of the abandoned cabin. The worst part, however, wasn't the fear itself, nor the isolation, but the unsettling certainty that I wasn't alone. Hey everyone, Mila here. If you love getting spooked while also enjoying a good gaming session, then this channel is for you. I combine my passion for gaming with my love of creepy horror stories, narrating a new one every single day. So, if you're ready for a daily dose of chills and thrills, hit that subscribe button and stick around to the end of this video for the story to continue. Let's dive in. It all started with a harmless weekend trip. My friend, Sarah, and I, both history buffs, had stumbled upon an online forum buzzing about a supposedly haunted cabin deep within the Redwood National Park. Curiosity, the bane of any sensible soul, got the better of us. We packed our bags, fueled by a thirst for adventure and a healthy dose of skepticism. The drive to the hidden trailhead took longer than expected, the GPS signal dropping in and out as we ventured deeper into the dense redwood forest. The towering trees, with their red, peeling bark and branches like skeletal fingers reaching towards the twilight sky, cast an eerie shadow even in the daylight. By the time we reached the trail, the air had grown strangely thick and still. Hiking deeper felt like entering a forgotten realm. Sunlight barely penetrated the canopy, leaving the forest floor shrouded in perpetual twilight. The silence, broken only by the occasional snap of a twig underfoot, pressed against our eardrums, amplifying every rustle of leaves and the unsettling chirping of unseen birds. After what felt like hours, we finally stumbled upon the abandoned cabin. It was a ramshackle structure, its once vibrant paint peeled and faded, windows boarded shut. A shiver crawled down my spine as I noticed the crooked hand-painted sign hanging precariously above the porch, "Beware, not welcome." Despite the looming sense of unease, we decided to press on. Sarah, ever the optimist, saw it as a historic opportunity, a chance to explore a forgotten piece of the park's history. We pushed open the creaking door, a wave of stale air and the musty smell of decay enveloping us. The interior was just as unsettling as the exterior. Cobwebs draped the corners, furniture sat covered in dust sheets, and an unsettling stillness hung in the air. As we ventured deeper, the floorboards groaned beneath our weight, the sounds echoing through the empty rooms like whispers from the past. Suddenly, a loud bang came from the upstairs floor, making us jump. Sarah, ever the pragmatist, dismissed it as an old animal nesting within the walls. I wasn't so sure. An inexplicable sense of dread gnawed at me, urging me to leave. Ignoring the prickling sensation on my skin, we decided to document the cabin with our phones. Taking photos, I noticed something strange in the reflection of the cracked mirror in the living room. It was a fleeting glimpse, a shadow barely visible in the background, but it was enough to send a jolt of icy fear through me. We continued exploring, the oppressive atmosphere intensifying with every passing minute. In the attic, amidst cobwebs and dusty trinkets, I found a worn leather-bound diary. Its yellowed pages, scrawled with a frantic hand, spoke of a family who had lived in the cabin generations ago, plagued by nightmares and unexplained occurrences. The final entry, dated the early 1900s, spoke of a darkness that had settled upon them, a presence they couldn't escape. A cold gust of wind slammed a window shut, plunging the room into darkness. We fumbled around searching for our flashlights. When the light came back on, a sudden movement in the corner of my eye sent chills down my spine. There, in a dusty mirror, I saw it again, a fleeting glimpse of a dark figure, its features hidden in the shadows. Panic surged through me. I grabbed Sarah's arm, urging her to leave. We scrambled out of the attic, the feeling of being watched growing stronger with every step. As we rushed to the door, a low growl echoed from behind us, a guttural sound that sent our blood running cold. We fled the cabin, slamming the door shut behind us. We didn't stop running until we were far enough into the forest that we could no longer see the crumbling outline of the structure. Exhausted and terrified, we collapsed against the rough bark of a redwood, our breaths coming in ragged gasps. Hours later, under the pale light of the moon, we finally managed to stumble back to our car. Driving out of the park, the forest seemed to watch us go, the silence broken only by the rhythmic hum of the engine. Back in the safety of our city apartment, surrounded by the familiar hum of traffic and the glow of streetlights, the terrors of the cabin still seemed to cling to us like cobwebs. We haven't spoken about it since, the unspoken fear a constant reminder of the darkness we encountered. I haven't been able to sleep, haunted by the fleeting glimpses of that shadowy figure, the chilling growls echoing in my ears, and the unsettling feeling of unseen eyes watching us from the darkness. The phone screen with my reflection still shows the fear etched into my face, a constant reminder of the night we ventured into the realm of the unknown, and stumbled upon something older, darker, and infinitely more terrifying than any ghost story. The nightmares started soon after. Vivid dreams of the cabin, the oppressive silence, and the chilling presence that seemed to lurk around every corner. But these were different. They felt real. In one harrowing dream, I saw myself standing alone in the attic, the diary clutched in my hand. The figure materialized from the shadows, its form shifting and melding with the darkness itself. It had no eyes, yet it seemed to pierce me with its unseen gaze. Then, a voice, raspy and ancient, filled the dream. "You shouldn't have come, this place isn't meant for you." I woke up with a gasp, drenched in sweat, the voice still echoing in my mind. Sarah, pale and shaken, admitted to having similar nightmares. We decided to reach out to the online forum where we first learned about the cabin, hoping to find someone who could shed light on our experiences. We connected with a man who claimed to be a local historian, familiar with the legend of the cabin. He spoke of a dark entity, a malevolent force that had been plaguing the area for generations. According to the stories, the entity fed on fear, growing stronger with every terrified soul who dared to enter its domain. His words confirmed our worst fears. We weren't alone. We had unwittingly walked into the heart of a nightmare, and now it seemed to be following us. The phone calls started next. Strange numbers, garbled voices whispering nonsensical phrases, and the chilling silence that hung heavy in the air after hanging up. One night, something felt different. The silence in the apartment was broken not by whispers, but by the chilling sound of tapping coming from the window. We huddled together, our hearts pounding in our chests, as the tapping grew louder and more insistent. We didn't sleep that night, too afraid to even close our eyes. The next morning, we found a crudely drawn symbol etched onto the dusty window pane, a swirling vortex with an eye at its center. It was a chilling reminder of what awaited us, a constant threat hanging over our heads. Desperate, we reached out to the historian again. He urged us to perform a cleansing ritual, a symbolic act to sever any connection we might have formed with the entity. The ritual was a strange mix of chants, incense burning, and the burning of the leather-bound diary. As we performed the ritual, the apartment felt colder, the air thick with an unseen tension. When the final chant died down, a wave of relief washed over me, as if a heavy weight had been lifted. But the fear still lingered, a constant reminder of the darkness we had encountered. It's been weeks since the ritual. The phone calls have stopped, the nightmares seem to have subsided, and the lingering sense of dread has lessened. Yet, a part of me knows the entity hasn't truly left. It may be dormant, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. The experience has changed us. We carry the scars of that night, not just in our memories, but also in the way we look at the world now. The veil of normalcy has been lifted, revealing the hidden corners of darkness that lie just beyond our everyday lives. We don't know what the future holds, but one thing is certain, we'll never look at an abandoned cabin in the woods the same way again. And we'll never forget the darkness we encountered, the chilling reminder that some places are best left undisturbed.